Little Caesars UK versus US.
From calorie count to portion sizes, we wanted to find out all the differences between Little Caesars in the US and the UK. This is Food Wars.
Little Caesars in the US sells hot and ready pizzas in one size, 14 inches. Closer to 13 and a half, I'll let it slide though.
In the UK, Little Caesars hot and ready pizzas only come in one size, 12 inches. That means that the surface area of a UK Little Caesars pizza is 113.1 square inches.
The surface area of a US Little Caesars pizza is 153.94 square inches. That makes the pizza 36% larger than the UK's.
Now we can get crazy bread in the UK and we ordered it from our Little Caesars, but unfortunately they forgot it. If they remember your crazy bread, it looks like you get 4 pieces with an order according to the website.
Too bad for the UK, but the US, we did get our crazy bread. And an order of crazy bread comes with 8 sticks. 8 crazy sticks. It wouldn't, of course, be an order of crazy bread without the crazy sauce.
To add insult to injury, they gave us just the crazy sauce, but without the bread. Let's weigh it anyway to see how much we get. A side of crazy sauce in the UK weighs 7 grams.
So 159 grams.
Whoa, it's so crazy. No, it's not, of course. It's fine.
I wouldn't call the sauce crazy. Misunderstood, maybe, but it feels like the sauce kind of has it under control. This is a very mild-mannered, well thought out, well-measured sauce.
Another item available in both countries is cheese bread. I'll say on the medium rare side of cooked. It's 7.5 inches across and 5.5 inches wide.
I would like to note that in the US, our cheese bread is called Italian cheese bread. Ooh, that's almost exactly 9 inches. 7 inches? If you want to get a small pizza at Little Caesars, just get the Italian cheese bread and a side of sauce. Some assembly required.
Here are all the Little Caesars menu items in the UK that you won't find in the US.
Here is all of the Little Caesars menu items you can get in the US that you won't find in the UK.
Before we talk about some of the default pizza options, we'll talk about some of the customization options you get in the UK that you guys can't change in the US. For example, over here we can sub out the tomato sauce base for barbecue sauce or peri-peri sauce. I think the peri-peri sauce is kind of a nod to the UK's obsession with peri-peri. You guys know how much we love our Nando's. I think Little Caesars are trying to get in on that as well. Nando's just dropped to their knees in Tesco, just like, oh my God, no. The peri-peri option doesn't stop there because you can also add peri-peri seasoning to the crust of your pizza at Little Caesars.
The US customizations for the crust, round, which I guess is regular, but we also have thin crust, stuffed crust, Detroit-style deep dish, and stuffed crust deep dish. For bake, we also do a well done. Cheese, you can get obviously regular cheese, but no cheese or light cheese. Sauce, same thing, light, normal, extra, no sauce.
Now let's talk about some of the pizza options in the UK you won't find on the menu in the US. Here we have the barbecue chicken pizza. If you stare at this thing for too long, you will be lured into a hypnotic trance. The barbecue sauce is very sweet and kind of becomes the main thing that you can taste. If that's your thing, do it, not really mine. Over this way, we have the spicy peri-peri. The peri-peri is quite gentle, just like a little bit of heat maybe, but to call that like a spicy peri-peri, I think they've oversold the spicy and they've also kind of oversold the peri-peri. Our next pizza is this one. It's called the Quattro. What they've done is take a pizza and divide it into 4s and then top those individually. So you have 2 slices of margarita, 2 slices of pepperoni, 2 slices chicken and mushroom, and 2 slices of peppers, tomatoes, and sweet corn.
All right, this says SC pepperoni, stuffed crust pepperoni. I mean, this looks like, pretty generous with the pepperoni. It's a bit more neon colored than I'd like. The crust, of course, is stuffed with mozzarella cheese. Yeah, not bad. All right, let's just try. Sorry, stuffed crust, people just kind of don't care about it. Something newer to the Little Caesars menu here in the US is something called Slice and Sticks, which is half pizza, half breadsticks. For the consumer that wants a little variety, just them by themselves, don't want to get a whole pizza and a whole thing of sticks. I want to point out that Slice and Sticks come in what I think is this, AKA the classic. We also get bacon Slice and Sticks and jalapeno Slice and Sticks. Throw on your grass skirts, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to Hawaii. This is the Hula Hawaiian, which of course is bacon and pineapple. I think pineapple on pizza is perfectly fine. This Hawaiian's not very good, but the before mentioned thin crust pepperoni. It's pretty good if you want to pay the exact same price for literally half the pizza. So far for Little Caesars, the pepperoni's winning across the board. Little Caesars got me through some financial rough patches, so don't be too hard on them, but I mean, some eat them like, oh yeah, my early 20s. Great. 5 meat feast. Count with me here. Pepperoni, ham, sausage, hamburger, bacon, and yeah, I think it's like a seasoned beef. I don't like when they go ham and pork are two different meats. I know they're two different, but it's kind of like they're pretty close. Or it should be 5 meats, 2 animals. The seasoned ground beef or sausage looks a lot like mouse turds, making this incredibly unappetizing. You're trying too hard with this one.
Then we have a few deluxe options in the UK, starting with a pepperoni deluxe. If you're wondering what makes this deluxe when compared to a standard pepperoni, they just take some extra pepperoni and add it to the pizza, and then sprinkle it with Grana Padano cheese. I will say, like, it does look slightly more deluxe than the rest. Let's see if it tastes deluxe. It might just be a placebo effect, but it does kind of taste like the best one I've had so far. I don't know if I'd stretch to like deluxe as an adjective, but slightly better for sure. Maybe just rename it the slightly better pepperoni.
Something that here in the US, our Little Caesars has, I've never heard of this before, and I don't know exactly what they're doing. A series of pizzas, 2 pizzas, called, and this is all one word, Extra Most Bestus. The Extra Most Bestus cheese and pepperoni. Is this just rebranding the plain cheese and the plain? What makes this Extra Most Bestus? All right, let's find out together. It's an upgrade take on their classic pepperoni pizza that offers 80% more pepperoni, uses 25% more cheese. Okay, so more cheese and more pepperoni. Wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. Can someone graphics take a screenshot of that? We'll compare this to, there's a pepperoni that's coming up that's has a lot more on here, so.
Next up is another deluxe option, the Margherita Deluxe. Just as like a linguistic note, in the UK, if you see a cheese and tomato pizza on the menu, it's almost always referred to as a margherita. Everyone knows what that means. It's a slightly more traditional Italian way of saying cheese and tomato, whereas in America, it seems like you guys all just have to say cheese pizza, or you don't really understand what you're getting. To turn this margherita into a deluxe version, it seems like all they've really done is added, I think, some herbs, and then some chopped up pieces of actual tomato. All I really have to say about most of these is that they're fine. Our final deluxe pizza exclusive is the Mushroom Deluxe. Again, it looks like a fairly standard mushroom pizza with, I think, the herbs again and the Grana Padano sprinkled around the edge. It's also funny that they call this one a Mushroom Deluxe pizza because there isn't actually a standard mushroom on the menu. So I guess if you like mushrooms on your pizza, you're being forced into having the deluxe fancy version.
This is the old world Fanceroni pepperoni. Garone. Now that's pepperoni. Let's go. The cups. Oh yeah. Now remember that one a minute ago that we just saw? That was the extra best mostest, or whatever the hell it's called? Yes. Yes. Oh, they're crispy. This is pretty good. I will say the dough on all these pizzas are a lot spongier. I'm hoping that that is a choice to make it spongier and not that they just didn't cook these through. I'll find out in a couple hours. Of the regular round pizzas, last and certainly least, veggie. As before mentioned version of pizza you can get here in the US, we have a Detroit-style deep dish pizza at Little Caesars. You can get the ultimate supreme, the veggie, the pepperoni, the 3 meat, Hawaiian, and just regular cheese. I went with the pepperoni because I feel that's classic Detroit style. Detroit. Let us know in the comments how they did. True Detroit style puts the sauce or a little bit of sauce on top. They did not. So it just looks like a really thick pizza. We love our bread in this country. I would suggest against selling this in Detroit.
So what we have here is the UK only pizza. What we've done is take all of the customization options you can only find in the UK and combine them onto one pizza. So what this pizza has is the peri-peri sauce base, a barbecue sauce drizzle, peri-peri chicken, regular chicken, red onions, sweet corn, and tomatoes. Honestly, that's not terrible. Far from the worst UK only creation that we've ever made. The peri sauce base seems to just be tomato sauce with like a bit of peri seasoning kind of mixed into it. So you still get a bit of the sweetness from the tomato and a very gentle warmth from that. The barbecue sauce is kind of the dominant flavor again, but as far as UK only pizzas go, it's not bad.
A segment that usually we haven't done this in forever, it feels like. A USA only, that's right. This is a pizza you can only get in the United States of America at a Little Caesars. Of all the many USA only options, we went with a well-done pizza with a stuffed crust, extra sauce, light cheese, old world pepperoni, pineapple, and black olives. Oh man. The extra sauce, I think, is what really, oh God. The extra sauce is what really ruined this, because now it's just all sliding off. It's really bad. And it's really bad because it's like falling apart. And also we got this separately, so this was actually just came out of the oven. It's like really hot.
Then we're onto the sides. We have 2 exclusives in the UK. Now, while we didn't get any of the crazy bread, at least we got the crazy puffs. They take the dough, they form it into a kind of cupcake muffin shape, which is then filled with some tomato sauce, some cheese, and pepperoni. See the grease like dripping out of that as soon as I bit them. They're not bad. They're on like a mid-level of the crazy scale. And we can also get veggie crazy puff. It's the same cheese and sauce base, but then instead of the pepperoni, they've added corn, peppers, and onion.
We also have stuffed crazy bread. Remember that crazy bread from earlier? Now it's stuffed. What the fuck? This is like a giant mozzarella stick. Isn't really melted. Oh man, remarkably bland. Avoid. Caesar's got wings, oven roasted, barbecue, and buffalo. I'm starting to get a headache. I can't for the life of me pinpoint what is making me suddenly so nauseous.
We have a couple of exclusive sauces in the UK, which means it's time for Sauce Talk. We have 3 sauces in the UK that you won't find on an American menu, which is garlic and herb. When you order a Domino's, it comes by default with a garlic and herb dip in the UK. People go crazy for that dip. People really love it. So a few other places have tried to kind of jump on that bandwagon, and this is their version. We then have a peri-peri sauce, and finally we have a ketchup on the menu. I'm questioning anybody who eats pizza with ketchup, I'm gonna be honest. And we don't really even have any sides on the menu that go with ketchup, so the garlic and herb is defeating me. Leon, help. It's got quite a harsh taste, actually. Surprisingly harsh. Try the peri-peri. So the thing is, peri-peri has a very distinct flavor. It's a specific type of chili. All I'm really getting from this is just like chili pepper heat. You know, we have ketchup. I can't quite put my finger on it. I'm gonna literally put my finger on it. It's got almost more of like a tomato soup flavor to it, which I don't hate. After my preamble about how much I do not think ketchup should go with any of these pizzas, it actually ended up being my favorite of these 3 sauces. I think that's more of a comment on the other 2 not being very nice rather than the ketchup being good.
You have a variety of 4 exclusive delicious dipping sauces. Butter garlic flavor, buffalo ranch, cheesy jalapeno, and just regular ranch.
Little Caesars in the UK also has one dessert option you won't find in the US, chocolate chip cookies.
So we got desserts, cookie dough brownies. One is Twix pieces, the other is M&M minis. Very, very sweet. Kind of weird, actually.
Finally, let's talk about drinks. In the UK, Little Caesars carries Coca-Cola branded drinks, including obviously Coca-Cola, but then also things like Monster Energy and Oasis, which is a bit of a British classic. Comes in either citrus punch or summer fruits. It's kind of like a diluted fruit juice. Refreshing.
Finally, I can have something to drink. They had Coke products, we got Pepsi products. Oh, you know, the classic Pepsi. Mug root beer, Mountain Dew, and Starry. It's the new one. It's what replaced Sierra Mist. R.I.P. Sierra Mist, thank God. It's like exactly what 7-Up tastes like. They invented 7-Up. Great job, guys.
Unfortunately, Little Caesars in the UK doesn't give us a full nutritional breakdown, only calories. A hot and ready cheese pizza in the UK is 1,700 calories. That's 85% of your recommended daily allowance.
A hot and ready US cheese pizza is 1,950 calories. That's 97.5% of your recommended daily intake. Also, the sodium, good lord, 160% of your recommended daily intake.
The most calorific pizza in the UK is this 3-meat treat. A whole one of these contains 1,910 calories, or 95.5% of your daily allowance.
We also have the 3-meat treat, but ours is 2,870 calories. That's 960 calories more than the UK version. And ours is 143.5% of your daily calories. You're not gonna believe this. The 3-meat treat isn't our biggest caloried pie. That award goes to, oddly enough, this. The pepperoni and cheese stuffed crust pizza. This whole thing, 3,340 calories. That's 167% of your daily calorie intake. And of course, the sodium. The sodium, 380% your recommended daily sodium intake. So, pizza's cut into 8 slices, so one slice contains 1,094 milligrams of sodium, which is almost half of your daily amount in just one slice. R.I.P. my kidneys.
A hot and ready margarita or pepperoni in the UK will cost you £5, which at the time of recording this is $6.04.
The Little Caesars hot and ready pizza has become a contentious topic in the US in recent years. Forever, this was just $5, but in 2022 they raised the price for the first time in nearly 25 years. Price can vary depending on your location, but where I am here in Southern California, a hot and ready cheese pizza is now $6.49, or £5.40.
Our most expensive pizzas are the Ultimate Supreme, Spicy Peri Peri, Barbecue Chicken, and 3-meat treat, which will all cost you £10. This was my first time trying Little Caesars pizza because currently there is only one of them in the whole UK. It's in Chellaston, just near Derby. Having now tried it, and also with the context of the price, I think I'm fairly confident in saying this is a pretty low-rung pizza. It is very rare to find anything of this size for £5 in the UK when you come to pizzas, but in kind of return for that, you're not getting the best quality. I think in terms of my taste of pizza power rankings for the UK, this would be sitting fairly low, but for £5, it's kind of hard to complain because that is quite cheap. I don't know. How do you feel about it, Joe?
When researching for this video, I looked it up and I was surprised to find out, and you might be surprised as well to learn this. Little Caesars is the third biggest pizza chain in America. Totally surprised. Little Caesars recently became the official pizza of the NFL. What? I always thought, this is me talking here, Little Caesars was always the cheapest option. Also, the quality was never that good. So I was surprised to learn that this pizza is A, still around, B, very popular, and C, after this video, not that bad. I dogged down Little Caesars for a while, but I mean, I've had worse.
Don't forget to leave, like, subscribe, and click on your screen to watch some more.